this blew up into a big scandal. What is your ownership in it? Because I don't hear you taking ownership in it. There's two sides to everything. What did you do wrong here?
Well, I think that as much as I'd like to take ownership for everything, I can't, because I didn't actually start the narrative of she's a liar, she's a con, she's a fraud. You know, I think that really is what blew it up. How I was living my life was not some kind of like a, you know, open invitation for people to kind of just initiate their hate and pick on me. It's like I try to go back and think, is there something I could have done differently? Is there a point where I could have said, this is my whole backstory? I can't go back and point to like one thing that I would have done differently.
You haven't answered the question, and if that is your answer, holy God, you don't want that to be your answer. I said, what is your ownership in this? And he said, well, I can't take ownership for all of it.
Right.
But then you proceeded to take ownership for none of it. You're not a total victim in this. You know the difference between right and wrong, right? You have a moral compass.
Right.
You're not a sociopath. You know the difference between truth and a lie, right?
Right.
When you took the positions you took, you either elicited, maintained, or allowed people to form conclusions that were not accurate, correct?
Would you identify yourself as an African American?
I actually don't like the term African American. I prefer black. And I would say that if, you know, if I was asked, I would definitely say that yes, I do consider myself to be black.
If they're saying you're not black, what would you say in response?
I don't have anything to say to them.
They thought you were biologically black and you were not. True or false?
People thought that I had a black parent, yes.
And you allowed them to hold that belief, knowing they held it and knowing it wasn't true.
Knowing they held it and knowing that race isn't biological. This is where there's a little bit of a misunderstanding, because race is a lie. It's a fiction.
The minute you own that, this is over, but you don't own it.
I can say this much, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But I can't necessarily say, I wish I would have told everybody, the whole world, because I had public roles.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the end justified the means. Yes, I did lie, but I had a good reason to do it. You're not saying you didn't lie or you didn't allow people to believe something that wasn't 100% true. If you handled it so right, why did your life run off in the ditch?
Our society still believes that race is biological and that race is not a social construct.
Not because you lied, not because you misrepresented, not because you allowed
It's because
people.
my worldview is at dissonance with the mainstream worldview of society, and that's why this became such a big topic.
It would not have been more fulsome to say, hey guys, I define race as a social construct. I'm biologically white, but my essence is black, and I bring my heart, soul, and passion to this work.